So you want to build a succulent centerpiece for your dinner party. Well, let's get started on a basic one to spark your creativity. Some things you need to know about succulents is that they can be extremely drought tolerant, so they can work really well as a decoration. You can rot a succulent if it's stuck in a pot that will retain a ton of moisture, so we're going to go over which kind of soil mixes you should use and what kind of pots you're going to want to have on hand. My cactus mix is a 1-to-1 ratio of my favorite pre-made cactus mix and perlite, which helps by not letting the soil compact as I let my plants dry out between watering. With my final pottings, I prefer to have terracotta pots. They help wick away any excess moisture that can promote root rot, which is something you don't want for a succulent. When potting your succulent, you're going to want to inspect the root ball and possibly break it up a little bit to allow it to sit in the pot properly. I have noticed a good way to ensure an even distribution of soil is to shake the well-rooted plant in the pot to help settle the soil underneath so you can get a good idea if you need to add more later. As you pot any plant, the one thing you want to avoid is compaction, so tap the pot vigorously or even use a stick to break up any large pieces you don't see inside. These could lead to uneven moisture and sometimes a failed plant. When picking your plants, you want to have some contrasting colors that support the main attraction. As you see, I picked a variegated jade plant as my main focus and now just want to get my supporting plants arranged in a way that will be pleasing on the eye from any angle. On the table I have 5 different plants I'm going to use to help blend the colors together. From the brown terracotta to the bright orange red succulents, I have a few small green plants like pork and beans and string of pearls that I'll use to help fill in the pot as it gets older. When placing the plants, always take the time to look around the pot to make sure you don't have any empty spaces. These things always tend to be messy, so don't worry about a clean surface while you're messing around with your plants. Playing in the dirt is just part of the fun. Since I'm dealing with cuttings, I usually leave an inch or so to help stabilize the piece while I get other parts ready. It can make your life easier to burrow a small hole to help place them, unlike myself here struggling to get it to sit right. Applying pressure evenly while gently pressing the cutting into the soil is the best way to go without breaking too much of the small defenseless plant. Using a small stick to excavate a small space is also a really good technique, like mentioned before, since this little one already has a root system going. A few more touches like the pork and beans placed in the rear of the pot with the hopes it will fill in the back area. A few pieces of string of pearls will help kind of add some extra texture and color to the outside of the pot, and as it fills in, we'll continue to add more of a eye-catching overflow, like a waterfall. The final touch is some lava rock that you can pick up at a hardware store to help balance out the pot itself. It adds weight for windy areas, keeps the soil moist by retaining some moisture in the lava rock itself, keeps the soil in place on a table with guests, and adds a contrasting color to help make the other colors pop. If you made it to the end, please consider subscribing to my channel for more plant care and gardening tips. Also, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. It really helps me out.